I get uneasy around conflict.
Now we're here today to find out how to argue.
When we deal with conflict, issues can be solved.
Is that so difficult?
So the question really is, how can we resolve conflict in the most efficient way? I've ever been in a situation where it's so frustrating, so annoying, it just seems like you're going nowhere. And it seems like the world is going crazy. We are becoming less tolerant of people's views, less open to discussion, and more willing to clash.
A fucking bitch.
The emissions have risen and risen and risen. If you were doing your job properly, everyone would be out on the streets.
Hold on.
I want the words read back.
No. Dog holler.
You should take those words down. I know
gentleman
you care
goes
about
to-
your family and love your family.
Okay.
When I walked into the room,
I am not done with my question.
Conflict can tear apart a long-standing friendship, relationship, or marriage. And unless we learn a better way to engage in conflicts, as the saying goes, history repeats itself.
How should we argue?
One of the biggest components to conflicts is that we see the other person as the other. And immediately we've decided we fit into different groups. And as long as we do this, we'll always be stuck in conflict. Because when you do this, you're willing to say anything to prove I'm right and you're wrong. So within conflict, there's emotions and identity. Before you jump in the fray, think about a moment reflecting. What's the heart of the matter? What emotions are involved? Because this self-awareness can be the guiding light within the dense fog of conflict, history, and subjective interpretations. Because this emotional tensity can blur logic and hinder any type of communication. Emotions are the unforeseen forces that guide much of human behavior. They're behind our greatest achievements and our deepest struggles. While emotions enrich our lives, they can also act as stumbling blocks in the path to conflict resolution. Our emotions can hinder us from making rational decisions to a point where the two parties just reach a standstill. Think about the last major disagreement that you had. Did the other party act out irrationally? And emotionally charged conflicts cannot be avoided, whether you're a couple highlighting preferences or you're at work negotiating a deal. Because yelling and venting might provide some type of short-term release, but often it does little to resolve the conflict. Your emotions stem from your identity, your core beliefs, your values, what you stand for and what you believe in. And during a conflict, they feel under attack. And when your identity is challenged, your emotions are heightened even more, because this implicates fundamental aspects of your identity. So one of the first things that you can do is to figure out what values and beliefs that you stand for. What is your stance that drives your fight? The more you know who you are, the more you can stay composed, even if the other side threatens those core beliefs and values, because your identity is both fixed and fluid. If you have a better understanding of how each other's identities are at stake, you can overcome the fixed identity fallacy. You can do this by finding neutral ground. This involves slowing down the tempo of the conversation. Remind yourself to take a moment before you speak and listen more than talk. Let the other person vent, express, and clarify their feelings. Both parties need to feel like they've been listened to, because unfortunately we so often prepare our focus on the next argument rather than to listen to what has just been said. See them as a partner. It's not a me versus you, but rather two parties coming towards a common goal. Seek to understand, try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Understand their feelings and their motivations. This could mean compromise or just agreeing to disagree. And with these steps, hopefully you can transform difficult moments into opportunities, gaining understanding and deeper connections.